Urban Praxis is a multidisciplinary design studio based in Thailand, founded in 2015, led by Suchada, Kasemsap, and Sasiwimol, Utaisup. The practice is rooted in curiosity, collaboration, and creativity in many scales and many scopes of projects, for they are always in search for innovative yet practical solutions to real-world challenges. Today, we are joined by Suchada and Sasiwimol, and we will be conversing about leveraging innovation and design-driven research for a sustainable future. Super happy to have you here and excited for this conversation.
Yeah, nice to meet you here too. Thank you very much to invite us.
It's our pleasure. So will you first tell us about your background and about the firm?
Okay. Start with me first. My background is actually interior architecture, and then I studied in Bangkok before, but then I further my study in Netherlands on the architecture and urban planning, and then I have been working as an architect in Singapore before we coming back to Thailand.
And then for me, I start working in Bangkok as an architect, and then I moved to London for expand my career, education for master degree at the AA. And then after that, I've been working in London for 2 years, and then I moved back and started my practice with Suchada. Yeah.
That's super cool. So what inspired your design approach, if I may ask?
Okay. When we start designing, right, we try to see in different angles of the aspect that involved in that project or particular problem that our clients raise, and then we will do some research at the beginning, very stage, and when we see anything interesting, when we pick it up and then we explore it. It doesn't matter whether it's the financial aspect of it, or is the something that we have to come up with a strategy. If they don't know what to do with this piece of land, then we have to come up with a proposal. Yeah. So our design approach are really open. Yeah, let's say, because we don't know what we will learn when we study at the beginning, but after we learn something, then we try to make it slightly different, or it already exists, then can we make it slightly better, or we turn it another angle or twist it a little bit, make it more interesting. That's our approach. It's more something very simple, very small, but when you just start working on it and then you see it's interesting, then everyone have fun on working it, and then I think it will come up with a good project. It's more like a process. Yeah.
Probably because most of us have a background from European studies. So what we believe is about we have to do a research and keep questioning all the challenges that come to us. So we believe that we cannot categorize in between interior design or architecture or urban planning. We think that all things are the same thing. It's about tackle the design challenges and advice to the clients that what we would like to help them to solve their problems, and also propose something that's more kind of what we think is about something that's different, that what we try to make it to test what we questioning all the times. I think it's a process about doing the research.
I agree that the design thinking can be applicable to any industry, right? And it's something that we designers use often, but it's also something that the clients will be easy to understand, right? In the process of researching, in the programming aspect. So it's nice to have that as a strong base of the practice. So how do you define sustainability, and in what ways does it shape your approach to design and your lifestyle choices maybe?
For us, sustainability is something that we think is fundamental. We keep it in mind while we still start exploring something new. So what we try to do is we try to be really sincere with our project. If we don't pretend that we want to do something that is not suitable for this land or plot or something like that. What we call it sincere just means if it's the space itself that want to be like expressed by the structure, the beauty of the structure, the beauty of the material, the space itself, that interior and exterior are actually really correlated, very related. When you see it as it is there, then you experience it as a whole. We don't try to clad it with something and then make it something else, while the structure is like something else, something that we want to sincere with our design, with our space, how the people will perceive it. Yeah, in such a way that you have to narrative it in a very simple mind as well. Yeah.
Which actually sustainability has so many levels for me. I feel like everything is about try to balancing everything, because it with the design about creating the new intervention and also try to tackle the challenges with a simple mind, as Suchada said, because like as you know that the way that we're doing the research is very difficult to explain something that's very technical and complicated to the client, but we would like to let them join the project with us to try to integrating the knowledges in many fields together and try to balancing everything to kind of find the solution, which we still have to questioning it in the future. We don't know if it's already like solved yet, but then we hope that this kind of thing that we try to create, it will help them in the long term with not creating more problem for them. We hope that. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And sustainability is a process like for environmental, for human, and for economic. We tackle all three of them, not just like one, right? Like more or less, like people see architecture building as like a built environment. So you try to use like the material and resource wisely because it's limited. But then in terms of like economic as well, is it worth making it? Like sometimes we have a very like limited budget of the project. Then you have to come up with a strategy like where to put the money in, where to get the most effective like effect out of it. And if the lifestyle or the brief, like the requirements, what is the most priority of the project, and then we struggle on that. Yeah. So use it wisely. Yeah.
Nice. I'm particularly curious about the concept of, design-driven research and data. How does it contribute to the sustainability approach in your practice, in your collaborative practice?
As we mentioned before, right, every project we start with the design research process. The research, sometimes we do the data gathering, like when you got a piece of land, for example, because we not only doing the design stage. Sometimes we start from the feasibility study of the project. Like the client have only the land, and then they ask us what to do with it. Like so we have to do the data gathering. Like sometimes we like search the whole web or scraping the information from the internet, and then we process it on our office. Like okay, then we try to see like different like data of it, and then we try to come up with a proposal. Like if it's a hotel, then we gonna like scrap every hotel price around the area in like certain kilometer, and what the feature of that hotel that like make it more like famous in that area, or why the guests come of that, how it impact on the social like network, like people says about it, something like that. We scrap all this data and then we process it. Like for us, like to process it on the digitally is actually cheaper than you do it physically as well. That's one of the aspects. So once you start from the beginning with all these like data, and then you will have like a certain direction that you want to explore more, then the next step will come up. This one help us to like save man hour and time and the resource and energy as well. Yeah.
And also, actually, from my background, is like I used to work in the UK, right? And I was a BIM manager. So basically, that's the way I believe, and I kind of try to contribute to our office. And we believe the same thing, that everything is about collecting the data and evaluating them, by not like try to achieving some dream or some design that's useless to this world. So we believe that if we try to spend and looking at the data, which actually numbers, I would say the numbers and the quantity, something that already like show us on the on other platform, if we try to analyze it and try to combining it into our design.
Yeah, I agree. So we understand that, sustainability is something that makes sense basically, right?
Yeah.
So how do you tie in maybe innovation maybe through an example of your past projects?
Okay. For us, like innovation, it doesn't have to be something like totally cutting edge of the technology. It's maybe something like really like common in your area, but you see it from another perspective or another angle, and then you twist it a bit, and then it's come up with something new, something you are unfamiliar. For example, like in the case of the empty house, basically we start the project is because like the owner actually he's private in architecture as well, but then he did something else, let's say like for the government, and he live in Hong Kong. So once he have a chance, like he want to retire in Thailand, right? Of course, as the perspective of the foreigner, they want something like very local. They don't want some like a Hong Kong flat like sit in Thailand, something like that, right? You want to enjoy like the scenery, the view, the environment that Thailand could offer you in such a very good price, let's say, like such a piece of land with a really nice view. So he wants to like have the experience of the environment, have a good views, and like enjoy the environment and the scenery. What we propose is that we see is like, okay, then we try to do is really vernacular design. Even though we say vernacular, but the material itself is not, you see. But the space itself is come up from the typical traditional Thai sala, It's like a four-post, a square or rectangle geometry with the four posts, and then no wall, and then you just have like a hip loop. Okay, so when we come up with see the space on the second floor as like a multi-purpose area, that because he has like a different activity going on, so we don't want to fix the layout. So if we put the hip loop on top of the house, then it's something like really common. Why we want to like just do that? So he wants something to be new. And then we study like, okay, let's slide the hip, and then we flip it, and then we interlock it. It's actually the same hip of the roof, right? But when we interlock it, and then it's got a new geometry, and that geometry also serves like the flow of the ventilation, because actually it's really hot in Thailand during the summer. And on the second floor, we don't put any air condition on it, so we support that the wind not just blow by, but from the lower floor level, then it's come up from the stair hall and then go up to the roof, the pitch roof that we have the louvers. And that thing, I think that is more sustainability to live that way, that you live with nature. You don't stay in aircon, but then your house also bleeding, right? And we have a very like very big roof with the long eave. So when the sun is very low, that is shading out, and also it's heavy rain in the monsoon seasons as well. So that's for example of like what we try to explore. Yeah. And the beauty of the project itself, you see, there's nothing expensive material. Like you got only the floor is like concrete floor, no finishing. The structure itself is the steel structure that you have to make to support the roof. Yeah, but the material that we try to select is something, even though it's more like a steel or the concrete, but because we want to be very low maintenance as possible, even though like in Chiang Mai there's a lot of wood and timber. Normally people will like just put wood at here and there, even outside, but then you will have to maintenance it like tremendously. For our client, sometimes he's not in Thailand because he still have to take care of his parents in Hong Kong. So it's for him to be easier to maintenance in the long way. And then once he come, then he enjoy the quality of his life here. Yeah.
I think Suchada already explained the whole thing about the MT project. So I will add up some more about the other projects for us. We basically we try to apply this idea to other commercial projects as well, about living with the nature and try to limit the air condition quality. It depends on the site, but we got another project inside the resort, and we try to think that if this idea, like the empty house, can apply to another kind of the project in different way. So we have another hotel in Khao Yai, and although it's different because of the material and the style, but then it still have the main idea the same way, that we would like to encourage the people, the guests, to live with the nature, able to walk through the forest and to enjoy the quality of the environment around there. Because then most of right now seem like all the hotels in that area seem to follow the traditional rule to the way they build the building, the basic building, and have the lobby with a air condition, because most of the people think that Thailand is very the hot country, right? But for us, we feel like no, it's not that. It depends on the season. So why don't we take it as a challenge and creating something more like in details, like going to think like what the quality of the corridor would be, the lobby, the entrance. That's why we try to kind of put it more beyond the just only a house, but try to taste more in other projects.
Yeah, that's nice to make architecture that works with the site and not against the site, right? To make a building that has the natural ventilation or the cross ventilation, it's always a good way of approaching building, actually. So in your opinion, what should architects do in the future to promote positive change in society, such as maybe enhancing the quality of life, like you briefly mentioned before, and improving the standards of living?
For us, it's not something really big change, like everyone, like you just do something in your scope. Maybe it's something small step, but you enhance it to make it slightly better. So as a collective, right? Everyone do for their own responsibility, then I think the world will be better anyway. But then the question will be, why the architect have to do that? Why not everyone? Like start from your house, from your own lifestyle of living as well. Yeah. So for us, looking for something like very simple, very common in your normal everyday of life, then start to like push it a little bit more. Like we always like call each other, or when we work with the consultant, when we said push a little bit. Like if you come up with like really common, yeah, it's nice, it's beautiful, but can we push it a little bit more? Like try to taste it at the edge. And then we always find out that it's worth to try. Even though maybe they sometimes fail, they sometimes like client not buy it, but then the one that lets it out and then we implement will all be good, and it's better than what we expect before. Yeah.
And actually, since our background, both Suchada and I, we study about the urbans. So we realized that we live in Bangkok, where is the fastest growing city like Jakarta. And actually, we kind of like our project, even like not just only our project is about how to survive here, how to live here. If we take it as a challenge every day, like the flood, the environment, the traffic jam, everything is about the urban challenge. So what we believe that is to find the sustainability in this kind of area is that we take it all of them as I never say it's a problem. I would say it's a challenge that we need to kind of find a solution and try to solve them every day. So we learn from everything in our life. And when we know that when the client come to us, we just share the experience together and then try to kind of find a better way to kind of to solve them, to kind of improve them, because most of the clients are the same generation as us, not or the new generation of the business. So they have some pain from 10 years or 20 years, and then they come to us. So how to make it better? With this question, how to make it better, how to improve it, how to prevent it. This is everyday life question that we got, and then we try to solve them together. That's what we think. And not just only the architecture, I think it's about the whole, we move across scale in all the problems. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's so simple, right? Just solving challenges.
Yeah.
But it's something so profound, and it's our job to do it mindfully with enough data and enough research, and then what to do about it and how to enhance what's already available and make it better. So thank you so much for sharing today. We had so much fun and looking forward to more of your positive contributions.
Thank you you too, that we have interest in our project and our office. Thank you for you too. Yeah.